which is something that a lot of people will accept. Yes, we need to diversify. It should be our thinking right now. But if we look at the last three indicators, I mean, look at the price of oil, $65 per barrel. We're looking at how much we intend to produce, over 2.2 million barrels per day. We're looking at our benchmark, beg your pardon, where we've pegged the price of the exchange rate, 165 naira. And we can see that what is on the market right now is not what it is over pegging. The CBN is still supporting the naira. The naira is still struggling at the market. We can see that, you know, the price of oil is not at $65 per barrel. From what we can see currently, it's way below that. And yet we say that this is the plan that we have for 2015. Are we being realistic?
I think we should look at it that budgets is an intention, and how you work the very parameters depends on how you grow. What she has given us is that this is where the government tends to run for this year. And all other government agencies will need to key in. And if the government come out with a vision, okay, let's move this economy from oil to other sectors like tax, you mentioned earlier on, agri and all other sectors. Those are emphasis I think they're trying to lay their emphasis on. I must say, a manager is the manager that looks at the problem and faces it head on. You know what I'm saying? You don't go crying because somebody's coming to steal your house, you just start on it. You have to prepare yourself. So now that the oil price is dropping, we have no control over that. We have no control over that. So it's for us to look at those we have control over to make a budget work, because the economy got to still remain and people got to do their normal busy thing. That's what they're trying to do. So it is for us to look at that. So well, it's good I don't have a detail of the budget yet. A lot of us, we want to analyze the budget and look at where it's going to go. Even businessmen, to see where do you want to key into the budget and identifying where you can actually run along with the budget. You know,
you're a businessman, you're an economic analyst.
Yeah.
Would you plan like this?
Like this?
Yes. If you're running the affairs of your company, you're looking at projected revenue, what you need to increase, what you need to cut. Would you plan like this?
Sure.
If you know the prices are going to drop, say the prices of your commodity is going to drop the following year, the major thing that you sell, maybe owing to competition, whatever it is.
No, I want to remind you.
Would you plan? That's a question. Okay, or is it that it's different for a country?
No, it's not. It's not. Budget is the same thing everywhere, but this is a budget of the economy different from. The company also has an objective. The budget naturally will have a budget objective. What I want to let you know from what you've said is that the overall objective driving this budget this year is to move away from oil, depending on oil. That's why he said it's a non-oil producing economy. Let us see the need to rework the whole thing to be able to move on that. So for a company too that is running a budget, we look at a budget objective. You define your budget looking at the macro economy and say, where are we going to go this year? And then you review how you can come up with a plan for the year. A lot of companies are waiting for the government, this budget, to be able to review their budget, to look at, okay, what is the direction of government? And we need to look at what to do, because most of the things we do in this country depend on government. The spending actually depends on government. So to answer your question, for a company to plan, you need to first of all look at the macroeconomic, come up with a budget objective, have a blueprint, and then you now plan your budget along with those plans.
Are you worried?
So,
are you worried that recurrent expenditure is so high? And here we are entering, 2015, the election year, where there will be plenty of spending ahead of February, maybe into May, when, power finally changes hands. Are you worried? Because it would seem that the CBN would definitely have a lot of work on its hands, trying to mop up liquidity from the economy. Looking at how much we intend to spend on recurrent and how much we've actually earmarked for capital expenditure.
No, I'd like you to look at the budget in context of previous budgets. See, when you look at this year's budget, you look at the other year's budget and see how was recurrent and capital. What was the percentage? You know what I'm saying? Then if you look at it in that same perspective and context, then you may not be too worried. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to let you know is that it's the same structure of Nigeria we're talking about here. We still have it's a democratic system. We We have the judiciary, the legislature, and the others. All of them are all within this economy. That's what we had last year. There's no change in government that will cut those things off to make you now make a drastic cut on the recurrent expenditure. You get what I'm saying? But the take here is that there has been a gradual process to grow the capital budget against the recurrent. What I'm saying, hoping that eventually the capital will overshoot the recurrent. That's when the thing becomes normal. Like you take for it, because they have good funding and they have few overhead. They have a huge capital budget, higher than recurrent. Those are the states that you see they are doing very well. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it takes from the overall budget level of the federal government. I think you have to look at it from years. How has it been for about 2 or 3 years? What have been their attempts to bring down the recurrent and increase the capital budget? That is only in that context you can now see that, yes, what you are saying. But if actually it's difficult to just have a 1 year swoop and except you're going to have crisis in your hand. If you for this year you not say, oh, I want capital, that is not a thing that you can do.
So you're saying that you're comfortable with this budget, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. What I'm saying, well, I've not looked at the details, but what I'm saying is that
the key indicators
shows that, yes, they want peace, they want some stability, and they also want going to fight the insurgency. Remember, that's the major challenge for the government. I hope you know that. So to fight those things is a lot of money. So they need to do that. I have not looked at the makeup. But I like us to look at it that you don't just make a major change overnight. Maybe you want to place people. No. It's not. You need, because these are indicators that will come up every month. The year has already, in about a few days, we'll move into the next year.
So there's nothing you disagree with in this indicator?
Because I have not really seen the detail.
Let me bring up this issue. The forecast for GDP growth was cut down. It used to be 6.4%. It has been cut down to 5.5%. Again, the question would be, are we not being too ambitious?
From what, 6 point?
It was cut down from 6.4%, as in GDP growth rate for 2015. It was cut down. The projection used to be 6.4. It was cut down to 5.5.
Yes. Why I really find it difficult to answer such questions that are driven by figures, I need to know the parameter behind them. Because you just mentioned too that the economy, this is economy that we thought were going to grow, but because of this oil thing, there's going to be a drop. And that's why you don't expect GDP to going to grow at the way it was growing. So definitely it will come down. But my comfort here is the size of the economy. I also believe as strategists, as an analyst, by the time you look at the main budget itself, you'll be able to find a way. Even within the economy, there's some people who are still going to make some money, while some who live in doing things the same old ways will going to cry. But you see, this is time to think. That's why I talked about strategic thinking. So those who are in that bracket of thinking out of the box will be in a position to make more money, and those who believe in doing things the old ways will continue to complain about government this and government that. That is the time. See, this thing happen all over the world. In the U.S. economy, you saw what happened with it. So those are things you need to now think about it and grapple with it and say, okay, what do we do to get out of this whole thing? And that's exactly what they're trying to do. So let's wait until the budget breakdown is properly out. We'll look at the parameters and what enable them to arrive at that computation that brought it down. That will create a better opportunity for one to be able to assess and answer that question.
Sir, thank you so much for coming. We'll definitely stay on this by the time that, as you said, when the breakdown is properly done and released, and we'll bring you back in again to look at the parameters. Thank you so much. We're speaking with a financial consultant, Eddie Osarenkho, on the 2015 budget. Sunrise Daily will be back shortly to continue on another matter. Please stay with us.